Hey guys, Jeremiah here today, and we are doing the latest greenhouse tour I've ever done. So come with me, it is late November, and I will show you what is still looking really nice in the greenhouse. So, most Sarracenia have started to go dormant, but let's turn around and we'll see what we've still got that's looking nice. So we'll start off, this is a beautiful Saxapaha, or it's Hurricane Creek F crossed with Saxapaha. Then we have stuff like this Drosophilum sitting here. This is Sarracenia It. This is Black Widow. This is the clone from Robert Coe that appears to be the true one. And then here is my biggest late season growing Leucophila from Escambia County. Ooh, then we have Dion. But as you can see, I've kind of come and I've cleaned out a lot of the already dead pictures, so things look a little sparse, but the ones that are still up are relatively clean. This is a beautiful L132 from Mike King. So let's see, there we go. And it is just one of the most unique fall to winter growing Sarracenia in the greenhouse. And we'll come on around. We have Ariel Lotta Super Color that is just super dark. This is the Saurus crossed with Inspiration. This is one of my hybrids. This last picture was a little misshapen, but as you can see, the color is near perfection. Nice Micheliana. This is an HRS18. As we come on around, L139 is looking beautiful right now. Then back here, Oliver Flynn. That one's from Trey as well. Then we go this Ariel Lotta. This is, I think, Trita. And it is just spectacular fall grower. Back in there, we have, I think, a Saurus crossed with probably Royal Ruby, but I'd have to check on that one. Deep Throat is completely dormant already. Hurricane Creek F is just beautiful. As we come on around, King Cobra is pretty much done for the season. Here's a Leucophila alba solid white Washington County crossed with WH Mouth Covington, Alabama. Beautiful plant. Then Top Lady. This one is looking spectacular still. Probably about done for the season. And looks like the seed pod is about ready. PO1 crossed with Perp Montana Clone A. So that should be a nice batch of seeds. Okay, and as we come on around, we have another one. This one's known as Fire Pussy. Really weird one from Italy. Beautiful Oreo crossed with Alata, crossed with Adrian Slack. This one is known as Silver Surfer. White Beast is looking pretty big. And as we come on around, Hurricane Creek White Clone B. Then this is a beautiful one. It's Leucophila Purple Lips crossed with Royal Ruby. I think one of my seed grown. Then we have Moby Dick. This one is Leucophila Thick Neck. We have Stanya. This one comes from Miroslav in the Czech Republic. Ava, another relatively common clone in Europe, but very rare here. Then we have Sunvisor, Leucophila Red from Baldwin County. Then we have Dragon Queen. Here's a really cool one. This is Saxapaha crossed with Elaine's Fire and Ice. There, this is beautiful WWK crossed with Hurricane Creek 1x2. Then back over here we have Driss, which is a really nice European clone. MK136. And then some really nice perps here. Look at that. Saurus is pretty much done for the season. The last couple pictures there. As we come on around, we got S161. It kind of reminds me of Vampire Queen. Then we have some of the tuberous sundews that I've moved into here. Some of them have been growing a little while, but they're just starting to look their best. Here is Sarlacc. It's about done for the season as well. Aurora Borealis is over in that back corner. As we come on around, Potty Mouth is pretty much done. This one, I really like this floppity lid. Prometheus crossed with Gulfensis, crossed with Leucophila, crossed with something. Let's see. That I don't know, but it's from Adam, so it's super cool little droopity lid on it. Okay, Megamouth is also just about done for the year. But yeah, today I believe is, November 26th. So it is pretty late in the season for Sarracenia on this side. As we come over here, we have White Ghost, which is a cool one that in the fall turns a little more pink to red for me. This is S75 from Phil. Alada A11. And we have P01. Persian Rug crossed with Purple Lips. But that kind of gives you an overview. This is southwest side, so west is this way and south is this way, so still gets pretty good light year-round. Probably not quite as much sun in the winter, and so they will go dormant. It never freezes in this greenhouse, but looks pretty good. Then down here we have some fresh Belly of Blood divisions. That's just a beautiful, beautiful perp. Then we have some fly traps that are mostly dormant, so they will be getting repotted sometime before April. And then I hope to do a pretty big repot division on Sarracenia, probably by the new year, but we'll see how busy things get. So then as we come over here, for now, we will skip the lowland grow chamber, but we'll just continue on here. So in this greenhouse, everything in a white pot has been recently repotted since September 1st. So honestly, the Nepenthes aren't looking their best ever. I feel like they need at least 3 to 6 months to settle in after a pretty harsh repot. But as you can see, I got things really cleaned up. They will love this. I'm now using nothing but 100% pure soaked coconut fiber husk chips, so it no longer has much salts in them. And I find that has worked really well in this greenhouse. Here was a huge one of the biggest ones I repotted. It was too big for a white pot, so I think that one's in a 5-gallon pot, if I had to guess. But yeah, this is a Loei truncata wide peristome. This is not the California Carnivores clone. This one, like I can see, there's a mouse in there. It's definitely one of the most mice or mammal catching plants in the greenhouse. I think that Loei really attracts the mice to it, but then this one's so big it can actually eat the mice. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So this time we probably won't do quite as of a heavy focus on Nepenthes. And normally I wouldn't even do a video walkthrough unless the greenhouse was near perfection. So I just thought you guys would like to see it as it kind of comes back to life after a heavy repot. So I usually get much smaller pictures for the first first time after a repot, and then they settle in, and again, 3 to 8 months, depending on the species, then they start producing some of their really large pitchers. But most of the pitchers will start to fade, especially after a heavy repot. That is normal, not something I'm too concerned about. So we will go on down here and see the Sundew section. So Noah has really helped me build up my Sundew collection over the last couple years. I would say he sent most of these since COVID, so probably 3 or 4 years, give or take. This year, I'm going to be moving most of the pygmy collection. They need a good repot, moving them over to this laterite. Also some very coarse pool filter sand. Then we have, I think, about 50 different varieties of Nepenthes. This one is just the classic albino, really, really solid. Then stuff like Murfettii. This one is endemic to Tasmania. Others like Hamiltonii, beautiful plant from Australia. But lots of really nice sundews. These were all repotted, I believe it would have been June, maybe July. So they're looking about as good as they've ever looked now. Definitely enjoying these nice cool temperatures. And as we come on around all the different varieties of Nepenthes, there is a fair bit of variation between them. So just absolutely loving Nepenthes. These were also repotted in July and looking pretty darn good now. Then we'll go over here. These are two huge Nepenthes mira. So we have a male on the right here and a female on the left. I think I've had 1 foot pitchers on this male, and it hadn't been repotted in probably about 10 years, so it is ready for it. Then as we come up, this is the classic California carnivores clone of Lowii truncata wide peristome. Super awesome to see a nice basil on it. It got moved into an 8-inch white pot. Then other things like this spec crossed with truncata, that didn't seem to be minding being repotted at all. As we come on around, some nice toothy things here, which also relatively recently repotted, so it'll be nice once that opens up. Then we have more Lowii truncatas on this side. We have the original Grex, and then this one I believe is Giant. No, that one's actually original Grex. So Giant is in the pot closest to it, but this leaf is coming from somewhere else. I think that's original Grex. So very, very similar to the Giant. But again, you can see all of this nice fresh soil. It really needed it, although Nepenthes were looking about as good as ever in July of this year. You just have to be on top of that if you want to keep up with near perfection, because if they're in the same soil for too long, they definitely look a little iffy, not quite as great. That's the Lowii truncata wide peristome, again from California carnivores, and its largest pitcher, which is just at 20 inches without the lid, is right up there. It's about 9 feet off the ground, so I'm not going to be able to get up and get to it, but it has a lot of really nice pictures. Then this one is actually the squat clone of it. Then we have stuff like Veitchii Candy Dreams. So everyone always asks, is it really worth it? Maybe it's not quite worth 20,000, but it is just a spectacular plant, near perfection when it comes to Veitchii. Just everything you want. Even as the pitchers fade, they don't lose that stripiness. Look at the size of that one, and the shape, it's that just classic Veitchii shape. This is, of course, a male clone and is currently in flower, so hopefully we'll be making some cool hybrids off of that that will hopefully be available relatively soon. As we come on around, there we get the other side of Candy Dreams. Then we have this Flava crossed with Edwardsiana, also pretty recently repotted, but you can see there how healthy that new growth looks. Then we have a Trusmodiensis crossed with something. I think it's Truncata crossed with Trusmodiensis. Also recently repotted, so that's a little smaller picture than I'm used to on it. We have Ventricosa Fipiata. This is the Lowii crossed back with Lowii Truncata Giant, I believe. It's old pictures. This was, I think, growing in a 3 or 4 inch pot, so it's going to be very happy. Get a couple of leaves that will need to be cut off, but that is going to be the happiest plant in the world here relatively soon. Then we have Trusmodiensis. This is clone 1 from Borneo Exotics, a little bit rarer than the clone 2, but both are pretty darn spectacular. Then we have this really, that one's faded, but it's a Sibuensis hybrid. And back here is a really nice red Truncata Fipiata. So this is my male clone. Just a beautiful, beautiful, huge plant. Although my green one, which is female, is noticeably bigger. Then as we come on around, that will probably be in the running for the largest Nepenthes pitcher with some of these clones is, of course, Truncata crossed with Edwardsiana. This is just a beast of a plant. Dom brought this one to my open day a while back, and it is spectacular. It's not even close to mature, so can't wait for that to really put on some size. Inermis got a repot. This is actually a spectacular species that has this really neat viscous Nepenthes digestive enzymes. Then as we come on around, here's a Veitchii crossed with Edwardsiana. I believe this is actually one that I made a few years ago, and it is really nice. As we come on around, we have Mira crossed with Edwardsiana. Let's see, here's actually a nice picture on it. Again, pretty recently repotted, so it's a battle to get a good picture on it right now, but I hope you guys like the tour anyway. As we come on around, but you can see everything is just loving it. Here's a Raja Edwardsiana. This is one of my smaller ones I have left that I kept, and it is just spectacular. And then hovering just above here is maybe the other greatest Veitchii. This one is Jeff Wong. Again, recently repotted, so we get a picture here. And that's a really nice picture, actually. Look at that. Again, it does stay striped, even if it's been open a very long time. We have that over there, and even, a nice basal picture, so that's always exciting news. I probably won't be cutting this one for quite a while, maybe spring at the absolute soonest, but I'm pretty happy with how it is there. Then we come on down here, oh, beautiful Mullis. Doesn't get much better than that. This one, I actually accidentally damaged the growing point a little while back. So the growing point, I was afraid I was gonna lose it, but some nice new growth you can see there. This is a Glandulifera crossed with Candy Dreams. Ooh, and then the Velosa crossed with Veitchii. This is BE4016. Just a cool plant. As we come on around, this is Maxima Papua Red, both an upper and a lower pitcher. Then we have another Velosa crossed with Veitchii. Looks like I got that one from Carnivoro a little while back. There is a really nice Maxima that is in flower at the moment. And we'll just get kind of an overview this way. And yes, even all my large Velosas got a repot. So I think it had been since 2013 or 2014. So they really needed it. As you can see, it's settling in. Not the best pictures on it right now, and it's always a little stressful to repot something. This one is 28 years old, so definitely don't want to lose that. Then we come on around and we got a beautiful Nepenthes Edwardsiana there. This one did get a repot. It lost a couple of its old pictures, but this most recent one is still pretty darn nice. Then we have the Raja Edwardsiana. This is a beautiful male clone and definitely has been my fastest growing clone. But my biggest picture I've ever had on one is going to be just around the corner. Oh, but that you're going to have to wait. So here, we forgot to give a quick down under look at some of the Heliamphora. These definitely look really nice this time of year. The color is solid. Some of these could use a repot, like back over here. They are pretty entangled, and I wish I had a little bit more room for them. But they are happy looking Heliamphora. Some of them are relatively new arrivals, so these came from Heli drop recently. Finally got a beautiful mature picturing elongata. Then we have some beautiful Darlingtonia. This one is the Six Rivers, so I think that one originally came from Atlanta Botanic Gardens. And we probably have other ones. The Orthello is right there, that stays small. But yeah, not bad growth on Heliamphora this year. And now they're really starting to color up. Okay, so we might as well, while we're down under, this one has some more Heliamphora. These definitely need a repot. Probably a little more soon, but have things of all different size, shapes. These are just under really cheap shop LEDs, so they don't have quite as nice of color under the ones that are grown under either the Flora Wave from Carnivoro, or I also use GE horticultural LEDs like these up here. Okay, so after we got those Heliamphora, we'll show the ones under there relatively soon as well, but let's come on around and I will show you. Ooh, again, all repotted recently. So here we have a nice, this is probably a macrophylla that has been back crossed with a Trus madiensis. I've had this one. It came from Wistuba early 2000s, and it definitely needed a repot. Then we have Loei affipiata right here, which not a bad picture on it, but definitely has had much bigger pictures, and once it settles in from the repot, it should look pretty darn nice. Over here, this is a Raja crossed with Mira. This was actually one that I made around the same time that Borneo Exotics made theirs, so kind of an interesting one. Then up here, we're going into the windy zone. This one is Song of Melancholy that I grew from seed, actually. Seed originally came from rainforest carnivores in Hawaii, but haven't heard from him in a while. Hope he's doing well. Then we come over here. We have Edwardsiana pitcher that is kind of starting to fade. Again, the repot did a little number on those, but we'll come on down and see what we've got down here. So that one, I don't know what it is, but it looks like it's a Veitchii, maybe Loei hybrid. Let's see. Yeah, Loei Veitchii. Then we have Jacquelinia. This is from the original seed-grown BE release. And then over here, this one is the Raja Edwardsiana. And this one you probably have seen some of. I set a 2-liter Coke next to it, and it is bigger than a 2-liter Coke. I haven't actually measured the complete volume yet, but I will relatively soon. This is my female Raja, which hadn't pictured in almost 2 years, so it definitely needed a repot. I put it in this very, very large round pot, giving it plenty of light. And so again, I'm finally seeing these nice pink leaves on it, so hopefully some good pictures on that relatively soon. Then this is a nice Lowii. This one came from Matt Kalin. This is the Vanessa, really nice female. And this is the clone 2 of Trusmadiensis. So there, can't really see, but let's go up into the rafters. That's a picture on it, and it goes way up to there. But hasn't flowered for me yet, but this one will flower female. Okay, and as you can see, everything, even in the rafters, been repotted and looks pretty darn nice. There we have a Edwardsiana crossed with Maxima. And we'll come on back down. Hopefully I'm not getting anyone too dizzy here. Okay, let's take a look down under. Oh my goodness. Look at the color on these Heliamphoras. So they definitely appreciate, I would say late December around Christmas is when they look their best for me. They're having some nice colors now. It's been about 18 months since I last repotted them, so they will need that here relatively soon. Get them cleaned up and divided, but the colors are just spectacular. Okay, so then let's head back up and continue on around. Okay, so we'll give you kind of an overview of this side. Up into the rafters, you can see we have a few pictures up there. These were actually repotted earliest, so they were the first that I went through, did everything up in the rafters. So they will probably be the quickest to bounce back as well. So I'm already getting new pictures up there and good new growth. Here we have Nepenthes hamada, of course. And then let's come on around. And then back this side, we can see another Trusmadiensis picture, the new Raja, one of the few non-carnivorous plants in the greenhouse, Cuthbertsonii. And this is the Alloceptrana. No beautiful pictures off of it, but a really nice basil. And here's a really nice basil off of that large Raja Edwardsiana. As we come on around, this is a Singulana crossed with Macrophylla. Just beautiful. And let's go on down to see the other side. So then we have some new arrivals as far as Nepenthes go. Lots of things that have nice teeth. All these were growing in the freezer grow chambers until relatively recently, and they are settling in really nice. But yep, some good things there. And while we're down, we might as well turn around and see some other things on this side. So here, most things haven't been repotted, although the ones in the white pots have. So we have really cool things. This is a Eddie crossed with Macrophylla. Let's see if we can focus in there. It's just beautiful. Then this is a beautiful, beautiful Ephipiata from the Hose Mountains. Let's see, it's just perfect looking plant. As we come on around, we have the Veitchii A. This one's from Dom. That is just beautiful. And then we have a Veitchii 5. I think that one's from Drew. That one's still a little bit smaller, but looking amazing. Fair number of like dubia, jamban, and all of these get very bright lights under the carnivoro tubes there. Okay, so now we're gonna stand back up and see what we've got. Okay, we got a Hamada crossed with Edwardsiana. That's a beautiful one. As we come on around, you can see all the recent repots. There's the B.E. Alistrana. Then we have an Edwardsiana crossed back with Spath Edwardsiana, so that one will be pretty interesting to see. This is Raja crossed with Aime, which is actually a really big picture. There we go, but definitely a little bit hard to get into. But everything looks so much cleaner than it did even just a little while back. Stuff here, we got the Succubus. Then we got one of the Diabolica crossed with Edwardsiana. Also just got a repot, so I think it had 11 pictures on it before the repot, and now we're down to our last 5, so that's always a little hard, but it's going to be happy about that in the long run. Still looking pretty good. Okay, so then we'll come on around. What else do we got here? Oh man, this is a Lowii crossed with Jacquelinia. Then we have an Epiphytica here, which looks like it has one picture that's faded. And I don't see any really nice ones in the sky either, so we'll follow it up. Nope, I see a nice Aime, but that one has faded. Then we'll come on around. Ramaspina's looking good. It needed a repot. Okay, then we have, the Kraken, Trusmodiensis, crossed with Edwardsiana. Also got a repot recently. I guess I'll stop saying that, because almost everything did. But, oh, look at these. So, let's see what else has a nice picture. Oh, I think this is a Rocco Basciana Vicii Orange Fade from Carnivoro. Then we have stuff, a nice seed-grown Aime. This is a nice Lowii that also got repotted recently. Trusmodiensis crossed with Platykyla. Got that one about the same time as Kraken. And then a nice Spectabilis hybrid. And we're coming on around. Okay, let's go down under. And we have some Pinguicula down here. Pinguicula, they need a little TLC here. Howard hasn't been over in quite a while to help out with them, but they are just doing their thing. Pinguicula are great beginner plants because they can pretty much take about anything, and they'll be pretty happy. Okay, then let's go around here, and we'll come on up. Ooh, this one is a cool one. It's Lowii Afipiata crossed with Rob Cantley. Some really nice sized pictures on it. Okay. Keep moving around. And there, this Platykyla had some really nice pictures on it. Then the repot happened, and then we get that for a little while, but that's just normal. Then a nice Raja hybrid. Jeff Schaefer made that one a while back. Coming around, a nice Maxima Vicii, I believe. Here, oh, this one's a cool one. This is a nice Aime. So as we follow it up, one of the few I didn't repot, so it's probably time, but you can see we get a lot of nice pictures off of that. And there is the main growing point. Then we have the Leviathans growing over here. We actually have the male in flower now, and the female flowered pretty recently. Okay, there's a nice picture of it. And then let's go down all the way under. Yes. There we got some more Heliamphora, a lot of the Pelosa clones. So some favorites are this clone 3, which is this really dark red one right in the middle. That one's one of the few here that I repotted and divided recently. You can see that new growth on it. Looks so happy about that. But then we have clone 2. Yep, but looking good. And finally got La Luna and Pelosa clone. Well, clone 3 there. Looks like that's actually a division off of it. So pretty cool. Okay, so then let's come on up. Back up. And then we got some other cool things here. This is the Velosa crossed with Peltata. This one only has 1 picture on it currently. Not a bad picture, but also not the best one I've ever seen. This one is actually a female, and it's in flower right now. And look at the size of this flower stalk. Yep, it is that one up there. So cross this one with the Raja Edwardiana and Truncata, so should get some pretty good seed off of that. It looks pretty nice. Wow, and then Leviathan, finally getting a basal on it, and it shows me why it is such a spectacular, spectacular clone. Look at how squat that is. It is just a super nice plant. Then we got some more like just Peltatas. That one probably has Candy Dreams in it, but I don't see a tag at the moment. Going over to here. Again, Leviathans. And Leviathans are up here, so they need to basal to get some of the nice pictures on them again. They're getting a little long and lanky. And then we will come on around if you guys are still with us. So fly traps, of course, they have gone dormant already, so not looking their best this time of year. But if you want to grow fly traps, order them between now and April, and they will definitely look better during the summer. We have a few new ones that we set aside over here. A lot of these just came from California carnivores relatively recently, so they're looking actually super good. They're making some just crazy nice stuff over there. This is a Skywatcher crossed with a Micheliana crossed with Skywatcher, also from Adam. And then we have some of the perps over here, still holding up really nice. Stuff like Brunswick Beauty, which the camera, as soon as it goes there, it doesn't get the true color. I don't know, maybe we can try putting my hand in it. Super dark. And then as we go here, got some other cool things. What is this one? Robert Coe. This is Winter Mute, and it is just beautiful. And stuff like Pride over there. And this one is 133A, also from Mike King. And let's come on around, and we're on to our last bench. And we are doing pretty good. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the walkthrough, even though it is winter already. We've already had a few snows and supposed to get 5 or 6 more inches tomorrow. This one's faded, but this one is Elaine's Ice and Fire from Jerry Addington. And then as we come on around, I'm trying to think. There are a few really nice Michelianas back there. One of those is from Robert Coe, and the other one is the DP Micheliana. That is, I believe, one of the parents of Megamouth. Then we have stuff. This one is Ellie Wang. Just beautiful, beautiful plant. MPF number 1 is right behind it. And then this one. This is the Leah Wilkerson, Adrian Slack, Clone A from Miroslav. Looking incredible. Then that one looks pretty good too. As we come on around, this is the last little bit. And not bad for November. They have another few weeks in them, and then it is time to repot. But it was a really beautiful Sarracenia year overall. Probably the best color I've ever had, although I didn't have quite as many flowers this year, so I think we made about 40 to 50 crosses. So now let's go here and see if we can give a last walkthrough. We can kind of change it to wide angle if I know how to do this. But without just a jump. Ooh, here we go. So let's go wide. So then we can just pretend you enter the greenhouse. Last walk down the center aisle. We didn't do the lowland chamber, so we'll have to come back for that. 40 minutes, that's about as long as I can go in one take, but hopefully no major mistakes. But look at how clean this looks. It looks like the snowstorm is already in, so we've lost some of that light, but added some LED lights over the years, and that has really helped everything look good, even in the winter. Winters are always a little rough, and especially after the repot. I actually haven't fertilized these guys at all since about April, maybe May actually, so they're probably due for a good fertilizing relatively soon. I should have time to do that maybe just after Thanksgiving, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Even if the greenhouse isn't looking perfect right now, I hope you enjoyed the greenhouse walkthrough. I was really busy getting everything repotted, so the greenhouse tour wasn't quite as high on the list until I got all the Nepenthes done, because now I probably won't repot any more Nepenthes until spring. If I repot them in winter, I feel like they're a little bit stunted, and now they will be good. Okay, well, there is the full greenhouse walkthrough, and let's see, we'll turn around. Okay, guys, over and out. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I do, and hope you appreciate all the effort that goes into this greenhouse. And be sure to follow us on Instagram. YouTube, I don't post that much on, so it's up to you, but once a year, usually get a nice long greenhouse walkthrough, so hopefully that's worthwhile. Over and out. Ciao.